Hey boys and girls, this is Mrs. Wells and we're about to read chapter 14. Before we do, a couple of vocabulary words that I want you to be familiar with. One is dignified, and dignified is an adjective and it means having or showing a composed or serious manner that is worthy of respect. And the other word is elegant, and that is pleasingly graceful and stylish in appearance or manner. So as we read chapter 14, be listening for these words and applying what they mean. Okay, chapter 14. Janae's got a big mouth. She told Zora and Mai about me taking the money. She said she wasn't trying to say I was a thief, just that I was the kind of person who couldn't do wrong no matter how hard I tried. Zora and Mai don't see it that way, though. They say I'm straight up wrong for what I did, and they think that Janae is crazy for forgiving me. I might have to search you the next time you leave my house, Zora says, sounding like she's serious. I'd give Janae the evil eye. She tries to apologize. I didn't mean nothing by it, she says. Well, if you didn't mean nothing, why'd you tell? I say, getting mad at her. Mai is walking by us, shaking her head. Why'd you take Janae's money then? She asks me. It was stupid, all right, I snap. But she owes me money, plenty of it, I say. Still does. Janae tells everyone that they're missing the point. A real thief don't give you back nothing. They keep on rolling. A real friend don't do you wrong. Raspberry proves she was a real friend, she says. Zora's eyes are the color of sand today. They make her look weird, like somebody on Star Trek. She makes a sucking sound with her teeth and says, Janae told me how much money you two got for cleaning that old lady's house. Next time you go to clean, count me in, she says, kicking a balled up piece of paper out of her way. I still need $60 to buy sneakers. If I can't pay my half, my father won't let me get them, and I really need those sneakers. They go with a new outfit my mother just bought me. Janae sees Ming and starts waving him over. She tells Zora that all she needs to do is work with us 2 times and she'll be able to pay the cost of her half of the sneakers, plus some money left over. We change the subject when Ming walks up. Right away, he starts rubbing Janae's cheeks with his hands. She's smiling all over the place. Ming saying he's going to walk Janae home before he goes to his parents' food truck. Mai's right behind Janae and her brother, complaining about working the food truck. But Ming ain't paying Mai no attention. He's got his arm wrapped around Janae's shoulder, telling her how good she smells. After school, Zora and me are outside the building talking when Mama pulls up to the curb and tells me to get in. I'll drive you home, Zora, Mama says, handing me a pack of gum. I give 2 sticks to Zora. I stack 3 sticks together like a sandwich and bite down. When we pass Zora's street, we tell Mama that she needs to turn the car around, but Mama ain't listening. A few minutes later, she stops the car in front of somebody else's house. The brick house is the color of warm milk with a hunk of butter in it. The roof is shaped like a dunce cap. A faded white picket fence goes all the way around. Who you know live here? I ask, getting out the car on Mama's side. You like? Mama asks me. She turns to Zora with the same question in her eyes. I guess, Zora says, frowning at the mess in the front yard and in the alleyway. 3 old tires are sitting on the lawn by the tree right next to a rusted bathroom sink. The window shades are rusty too, and they've got giant pieces missing from them. The paint on the front door and around the windows is cracked and peeling. We're gonna be living here, I hope, Mama says, following me onto the porch. Zora and me look at each other. We can't afford a new paint job for our car. How we gonna afford a house, I think. Mama sticks her face up to the window and looks inside. I look too. The place has wooden floors, nice ones, a kitchen counter with tall wooden stools, a fake fireplace, but still it needs a paint job real bad. And them rusted blinds and torn up shades gotta go. When we're back in the car, Mama explains that she's trying to get a Section 8 so we can move in this messed up house. She says that the last family who lived here got evicted. They trashed the place. The neighbors put up a fuss and got them kicked out, but it'll be fixed up real nice before we move in. Zora ain't hip to Section 8, so she asks all kinds of questions. By the time we got her to the house, Mama's still trying to set her straight. Section 8 is the government's way of making it possible for people, poor people like us, to move into nice places at cheaper rates, Mama explains. We pick out a house or apartment we like, and the government pays part of the rent every month. We pay the other part of it, a small part. Mama starts to get out of the car with Zora. You don't have to walk me in, Miss Hill, Zora says, trying to pull down her skirt and get out of the car at the same time. But Mama keeps going. When she's halfway up the front walk, she turns back to me and says, "Come on." Zora looks at her, then at me. She's as confused as I am. When I'm out the car, Mama says to Zora, "Your father invited us to supper." That's when it hits me. Mama and Dr. Mitchell got a thing going on between them. And just like that, everything's clear. Mama ain't trying to get a house from me. She wants this house so she can get closer to Dr. Mitchell. Zora looks at Mama real suspicious-like when she opens the door and lets us inside. Dr. Mitchell is standing at the door. He reaches for Mama's coat and kisses Zora on the cheek at the same time. Mama rubs her cold hands together. "Nice place," she says. We all walk into the kitchen. Dr. Mitchell dumps wet, hot spaghetti into a strainer. He turns his face from the steam rushing at him. "Dinner's in 30 minutes. You girls go upstairs and relax in Zora's room till we're ready to eat," he says. When we get upstairs, Zora slams her bedroom door shut behind us. Her finger is stuck in my face. "What's up with your mother?" I push her finger aside and lie down on her bed. I pick up one of her old dolls and start playing with her hair. "What?" I say. "Why's she trying to move here to Pecan Landings, trying to make my father like her?" I'm sitting with the doll's stringy hair in my lap, trying to think of something that will hurt Zora as much as she's trying to hurt me. "My mother wouldn't want your dad anyhow. He's a wimp. Dr. Wimp." I make my hand like a microphone. "Dr. Wimp, please come to the emergency room," I'm saying. "Well, at least my father is taking care of me," Zora says, fixing her sandy eyes on me like she's trying to beam me right back to the projects. "At least he's not some dope addict living in a crack house someplace," she says. I sit there real quiet, twisting the doll's hair around my finger, not saying nothing. "Sorry," Zora says after a few minutes. I shouldn't have said that. I'm still twisting the doll's hair around my finger, not looking Zora's way at all. The whole time I'm wondering if Zora thinks what I think. What does somebody like Dr. Mitchell want with somebody like Mama, who lives in projects, who comes from nowhere? "Your mama doesn't really like my dad, does she?" Zora asks. "Not that much, I guess." Zora shakes her head up and down. "We are thinking the same thing. I don't care, really," she says. "But my mother, you know." I rub the doll's eyelashes. They feel like toothbrush bristles against my finger. "My mom and dad, they could get back together, you know," Zora says. I feel sorry for Zora then. I know my mother and father ain't never getting back together. Knowing that makes it easier. You don't spend your time crying over something you know won't ever happen. "If your parents were getting back together, I would know," I say. "Mama tells me everything." I say, knowing full well that things with Mama and me ain't like they used to be. That Mama's got secrets she don't tell me nothing about. Zora says, "I don't have nothing against your mom. For real, I don't." She gets up when her dad calls us to dinner. "It's just my mom," she says, taking the doll from me and putting it back on the bed. "I have to look out for my mom, you know." Zora reaches her arm out to pull me up from the bed. I look straight at Zora. "Does your dad love your mama, Zora?" I ask. Zora takes a breath. "No, not no more." "But your mama still loves your dad?" I ask, heading downstairs. "No, I don't know, maybe. My mom's used to my dad, like your mom's used to that raggedy car of hers," she says, straightening a picture of Martin Luther King on the wall. I don't tell her that Mama would get rid of that old junker in a minute if she could afford something better. At dinner, Mama is talking and smiling and asking me and Zora stuff about school. The usual words that come out her mouth ain't good enough for this place, so all her ain'ts are turned into are nots. She's making her y'alls into you all. Tonight, every word Mama says that would just be fine in the projects gets all dressed up and made into something more dignified and elegant. At first, I get mad at Mama trying to act all proper. I want to say something to really embarrass her good, but then I see Dr. Mitchell handing her creamer for her coffee, asking if she wants some fresh Parmesan cheese for her spaghetti, pouring her some wine in one of his fancy glasses, and looking at her like she's special, beautiful, the way I wish Sato would look at me. So I keep my mouth shut.